CAADP is a continental framework which was put in place by the heads of state and the government, and it has principles, and these principles are supposed to be guiding the countries in guiding or directing the implementation or investment in agriculture. So CAADP is really our overarching framework, and you find that where countries have done really well, they have committed themselves to CAADP. So CAADP is so key to us that if we use it so well, we find that food security and nutrition is attained. But there are challenges, of course. There are challenges in implementing this continental framework, because as you know, in Africa, there are limitations. There are still limitations. The resources are spread across the different sectors, and the resources are not enough to tackle the health issues, tackle the infrastructure. In fact, CAADP is impacted on negatively by the lack of integration within the continent, because countries are so structured that they are small. They don't provide enough market. So if Africa can open up internally, then we get internal continental framework for trade. Then CAADP would have what? A good basis. Once you produce, you process, you have a market inside Africa. So CAADP is very key, and I believe the heads of state, when they came up with the same, they had a good idea to provide a good foundation for poverty eradication. At the continental level, we provide the principles. We provide guiding framework. But then at the country level, the people inside the country, especially with the non-state actors, the partners, and whoever is involved in the development of agriculture, the different ministries, they come together at a round table. And you know, it is no longer really just for agriculture ministry to take charge of agriculture, because unless you involve other ministries, you cannot have, say, the value chain development. So CAADP at the country level brings around itself all the different players. They come, put together their priorities, and those priorities guide the implementation, guide the investment. Then it continues with the round table discussions, and also bringing in other outside investors. So we'd like also to see if there are people from, for example, Brazil, if they came into those countries, they can partner up with the national people and invest. When we started, it was at a low base, 1%, 2%. But then we see now from 1%, many have gone to 2. From 2, others have gone to 4. Those who are at 5, they are now 10. Those which were at 10, they are now 20%. So we have seen a good exponential growth upwards, in which case it means they are going to continue putting in their effort, their resources into agriculture. I think the challenge is also more than that. One, we have an increasing population. Population growth is really a challenge for us. And in order to catch up with that challenge of population growth, we have to invest more, we have to create jobs, and we see agriculture being a key into that one. Of course, resources may be available, but what is available may not be enough. But agriculture requires technology, and technology is very key. And the skills are important. Well, you can get technology, but you don't get enough skills to manage the technology. But then also, as I indicated, once you invest, you need to market. So unless we are assured of the market, we cannot get real investment. Oh, referring to Lula, that one I do agree. First of all, you know, Africa and Brazil, they have a historical, a cultural relationship. And Africa has got a lot to learn from Brazil, because Brazil has gone very far in providing for the people, especially in ensuring access to food. So Africa has got to learn from Brazil. Now when President Lula was speaking, what he said is extremely applicable to Africa. I agree with him. I think that is the way to go.